Everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to some more of the Gibraltar Challenge here on Football Manager 2016. Now, if you've not seen our last episode, I suggest you go back because, yeah, just look at that. 7-1 away from home against Steaua. And now, today, in this episode, we need to play them again, but this time we're playing them at home. So, I wonder if we can match that. Of course, we are still without a goalkeeper in our Europa League squad, which is a massive, massive problem. I'm hoping, once we get to the knockout stage, if we do get there, I'm hoping we'll be allowed to change our squad, because we could do with bringing in another goalkeeper, because I think Ramito is going to be out now until about March by the looks of it. Probably February, March sort of times. It's going to be a bit difficult for us. In between the last episode and this one, I have played this one game against Lynx, and we defeated them 3-1. Goals of Andre. Matthew Baxter, the Gibraltarian left back, I gave him a game. He's a little bit unhappy because he wanted a bit more first team football, so I gave him a game and he came on and scored, so that's good for him. And then Chow as well, playing his debut. I completely forgot about that, playing his debut. We've had him for a couple of years, but we actually loaned him out last season to a club over in the Belgian Pro League, because they gave us £200,000 taken for the season. He had a good season there, 9 goals and 5 assists. He came in for his first game for us and he scored a goal straight away. So it's a little bit sort of confusing this, because we signed him right at the end of the 2024-25 season, so he never had a chance to play any games because we were done. Then in the 2025-2026 season, we loaned him straight out. Now he's finally played his first game, and he will be playing in this episode as well. So in this episode, we've got an away game against St. Joseph's and then a home game against Steaua as well. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say thank you to the guys over at your Europa Point FC Twitter page and the Lynx Twitter page as well, because both of them have been sharing my videos on their Twitter page with their followers, and it has helped me out a bit. I'm seeing an influx in views, so that's fantastic. So thank you guys if you are watching. And yeah, hopefully we can go further in this. Let's get straight into that first match then, away against St. Joseph's. And here we go. As you can see, we are big favourites for this one. Not quite as big as normal, but still quite good against St. Joseph's. We are now second in the league because Glasses have played an extra game to us, but they're only 1 point ahead of us. They've done quite well, Glasses. Three wins and 1 draw from the first 4 games. Yeah, it's pretty good. Our team then. Let's have a look at theirs quickly first. They've got James, a player we tried to buy a few times. Dominguez Alvarez is a player who started the game at our team, and I'm so glad to see he's still doing well. He was a really good player. I'm surprised he hasn't ever played for Gibraltar, to tell the truth, but there you go. No one else on the benches there. Now our team then. So we've got Moussa Badji in goal. 16 caps now for Senegal. He's actually quite a big player for them. I didn't realise. He's done quite well for us. 6 games, 3 goals conceded in those 6 games though. Left back, we're going to stick with Matthew Baxter. Want to try and give these Gibraltarian players a couple of games again, just to try and keep them happy and trying to keep them in the national side as well. Centre back, we're going with the 2 players that will be Gibraltarian by the end of the season. Jim Morrison only needs about 180 odd days now, I think, something like that. And alongside him, Nick Harlton, another one. So both these guys could be big members for the national side coming up. And Nick Harlton, only being 23 years old, means he's going to get a good maybe 10-15 years with the national side, which is fantastic to see. And we might have to sell him on though at some point, because he's unhappy and he is wanted as well. He's wanted by clubs in, is that the Conference or League One? So it's definitely worth letting him go if we as soon as he does get a nationality, because we probably do have better players than him now. Ashley Allen, the Welshman, can play anywhere on the pitch. Really useful player to have. Of course, in the last episode he scored a cracking. It wasn't a shot, it was a cross. Let's face it, it was a cross, but about 40 yards out. Great goal. Into the middle we have Eric Bernal, the American. Still unhappy, he wants to play more first team football. We are giving him quite a lot of games now. Alongside him, Emery Admasu, a player that we brought from Monaco. Now he's a player who wants to leave the club because apparently we broke too many promises at the beginning of first team football. But I'm just going to keep trying to put him in more and more games, and hopefully he'll become happy again. He's not necessarily one of the best players around though, actually, so someone should come in for him, and we might have to let him go. Adama Jeje, a player who's really come into it this season. Not played at all, and then all of a sudden played 3 games this year for us. So a good young player, this one from Ivory Coast. And then up front, we're going to go for the Brazilian strike force of Chow, who scored in his debut last week against Lynx. And alongside him, a player who I've been so impressed with since he signed, Andre. We brought him on a free transfer, and since then he's been absolutely incredible for us. So really like this player. He's so good on the ball as well. His dribbling's only 10, but he just seems like he's just so good on the ball. And of course his potential ability says he's going to get even better than what he currently is. So let's go into this one then. I'm hoping for another convincing win here in the league. Why not? We should do. The league should be our bread and butter. It's the Europa League that we're going to struggle in, especially without a goalkeeper. I have been looking around and trying to screw the rules a bit, because I know you can play any player under the age of, I think it's 18 or something like that. So I've been looking around to see if I could get a free transfer goalkeeper under the age of 18, but they're none of them very good. None of them good enough to play for us anyway, so we're going to have to just get by what we got at the moment. Hopefully just get through the group stage, and hopefully... Oh, bloody hell. Almost a goal there in the first minute. Yeah, hopefully we can scrape through the group stage and get into the knockout stage of the Europa League, and then hopefully they'll let us amend our squad as well. That'd be pretty good. So this stadium as well should be done by March, so hopefully if we do get into the knockout stage, this stadium should be almost done to get us the extra ticket sales for that, which would be pretty good. But it's mainly the size of the stadium is mainly for the other clubs in Gibraltar as well. I think it's going to help them out a lot. And I don't know if this is going to be right or not, but if we can expand this stadium to a point where... Okay. See, that's one of the little glitches in this game, isn't it, really? Because we all share a stadium, yet this is classed as an away game, this stand over here is not being done. I don't quite understand why that has happened like that, but there you go. So yeah, once this stand is completed, I don't know whether we get this stand completed and we get maybe the other three done as well at some point, and get it all seated as well. Whether that means the national side will start playing games here rather than... Because the national side actually play their home games. I can't remember where. I think it's like either somewhere in Portugal or somewhere in Spain. I can't remember exactly where. Oh, Andre's in. He's always good over the top, is Andre, and there it is, the goal. And it's been a pretty quiet first half for us, actually. We've managed to get the goal before half-time, but that's what Andre seems to be very good at, is when they play the long balls over the top, he seems to be able to get behind that defensive line. It was a good ball over by Bernal, perfectly placed. The keeper came out, and then Andre just saw the gap and put it straight into the back of the net, so well done to him. Excellent start. Well, I say excellent start, it's half-time, isn't it? And again, 13 shots, 4 on target, 1 goal is not very good. If you consider how well we did in the game against Steaua. So we're going to say that's good, but we know they're better. They're capable of even better. So hopefully we can get another couple of goals in the second half. Of course, this team means that we've sort of rested the majority of our big players for that game against Steaua later on, because that game against Steaua is a big one. If we can beat Steaua, even draw with Steaua, it means they can't finish ahead of us in the group stage. We're not going to finish bottom of the group. And then if we beat AIK as well, then it means we're guaranteed to go through, because there's a first and second go through in this. Dortmund, we lost 2-0 to Dortmund, so I think we're going to probably struggle. We do have Dortmund at home coming up. I think that's next episode, so that should be a bit interesting. Because we only lost 2-0 to them, but we did have Ramito in goal that game, so I don't know what's going to happen when we have a dodgy, greyed out goalkeeper in goal. Badji plays the big ball forward. Headed clear by Ross. Admasu brings it down to Allen. Allen, it's a good ball over the top. It's headed clear by Walls or Wallace, whatever that was. Andre picks it up there, plays it back once again to Ashley Riley. The player, he was our maximum signing for quite some time, wasn't he? I think we paid like 30 grand for Ashley Riley from Lincoln Red Imps. We didn't do it on purpose, like. I just didn't pay attention when I was trying to offer him a contract, and I didn't realise we had to pay compensation for him. So we paid a lot of money for him at the time. Obviously that's nothing now compared to some of the money we spent. Baxter forward to JJ, to Allen. Can we break him through and get a second goal? It's 70 minutes in, we've only scored 1. It's been a bit of a quiet game for us, but that's, as long as we get the 3 points, I'm not overly bothered, to tell the truth. I'd rather save all the excitement for the game against Steaua again. Andre's ball in, Chow's in there, and Chow heads it in. Now that's exactly how they scored Chow's first goal in the game against Lynx last week. Yeah, it was a crossing from Andre, and Chow headed it in. So I'd say these two guys seem to be linking up quite nicely up front. It's a big deep ball in, and Chow at the back post. Keeper would have felt like he did a little bit better there, because the ball almost went straight through him, really, didn't it? So 2-0 now, we lead. Is there anyone on the bench you want to try and bring on? I think we should have bring on Tomic for Chow. No real reason. I mean, let's bring on Banning for Andre as well. Let's just create, and then Jared Murphy as well for Matthew Bax. Let's just create some changes. Let's just freshen the team up a little bit. Make sure everyone gets a little bit of football. Jared Murphy's not been playing much as well since we signed Evola. Jared Murphy's sort of been put to one side, but he's still a pretty good backup left back for us. And Banning and Tomic, again, two very good strikers, but because the amount of strikers we've got now, it's difficult to try and give them all the amount of first-team football they desire. So we have to keep playing them wherever we can. But there we go, 2-0 win. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Nothing really needs addressing after that. Nice victory, well done. I'm not going to go too over the top because it wasn't special. Andre got man of the match again. Wow. So that puts us at the top of the table now. We've conceded 2 goals, scored 13. 12 points, 4 wins out of 4. What else can I say? So now, of course, we've got that big game at home to Steaua in the Europa League. Let's see how we do in that one. So here we go, and as you can see, we are actually now at home, and well, of course we're at home, but because we're at home, we're now actually the favourites for this match, which is quite interesting. I like that. We could move into top spot with this victory. Of course, Dortmund are also playing AEK Athens at the same time, so I wouldn't expect that. But if we can pick up a win here over Steaua, and Dortmund beat AEK, that might just confirm us that place in the knockout stage of the Europa League, which would be incredible if we did. But yeah, enough of me blabbing on. Let's get straight into it. Now, of course, we have got James Sanchez in goal. It's not even the same goalkeeper as last time because the game has to keep generating new ones. So it's not actually too bad. There's several 8s in there, which isn't too bad, but still not quite as good as I was hoping. Renato Evola is it, left back, of course. Cracking player he is. And hopefully we can keep a hold of him for long enough that he might actually play for Gibraltar for a couple of years. Nick Halton, let's see how far he is away now. 249 days left to play for the national side, which is great to see. Alongside him we have Simplice Makundi. I really like this player, I really do. How much did we pay for him now? I can't remember. We paid £210,000 for him, which is an absolute bargain, isn't it, really? Jamie Wildman comes in at right back because Dam is still injured. He's been with us for a few years now as well, hasn't he? He's got another couple of years before he can play for the national side, but it'll be a good one for them as well. Anders Broger, a player who's unhappy because I've not played him enough recently, which is fair enough because he's not been getting in the European side ahead of the likes of Morgan and Coutinho, and he's not been getting the league side because I wanted to rest him. So I've he's sort of dropped out of favour a little bit. I'm still one of my favourite players on it at the moment though, and he has still got he's got about 2 years, just over 2 years left before he can play for the national side as well. Luis Cabrera, the Uruguayan. Once we're out of the Europa League, then we can start to give a lot of these guys more league games as well, which is the sort of problem at the moment. Admasu, who's still very unhappy and thinks that we've let him down too many times, but we are going to play him at left attacking mid because Finn Baird is still injured. Christian Baez is in attacking midfield. Of course, was absolutely incredible in the last match, so hopefully we can do the same here for us today. Adi Day, again, absolutely stunning in that game against Steaua in the last game. So that was just fantastic, that was. And talking of stunning, the man who scored a hat-trick in the first 20 minutes of the game, Joe Stevens, who so far has scored 10 goals in 10 games. That's Champions League and Europa League. He hasn't played a single league game yet. Wow, I really like this Joe Stevens. I think he's a cracking player. Right, so here we go. Let's go for it. Let's tell them that we got a chance to move in top spot. They seemed a bit confused by that. Okay, let's go. Let's back out this a little bit. Let's say we completely believe in them. That seems to make them a bit happier. Okay, so Evola seems confused. Obviously his maths aren't very good because we can go top if we win this game. Of course we probably won't because Dortmund will probably beat AEK. But if AEK beat Dortmund, then we've got a very good chance of going top of the group. And like I said before, I think by the time the group stages come around, we might just about finish this stand, which would be pretty good. And get a bit of extra ticket money in. And again, like I've said before, it's mainly to really help out the rest of the clubs in Gibraltar as well. By getting this stand built, everyone in Gibraltar uses the same stadium, so everyone's going to start to get more ticket money coming in, which is going to help them. And of course all the League 2 sides as well that use the same same stadium. Baez across to Cabrera. Come on. Be great. Let's get the first goal again. Cabrera over the top. Evola is there. There's the cross. It comes straight away across. Oh, Eddie Day can't get there. No, Stevens. Oh, it's going to go for a corner. A little bit of undecisive defending there by Steaua. Couldn't manage to pounce on it though. We have got a corner. Baez corners it in, crosses it in. It's headed back out. Baez gets another opportunity again. It's headed back out. And again, Baez, did he head that towards goal? I'm hoping he just headed it back into the danger zone and not actually went for a shot there, because that was a bit awful, really. But it looks like we are dominating possession here. 68% of possession. That has gone badly. That has gone badly. Right, we're back. Second. We are back. I don't know what happened. Oh, I know what happened there. For some reason, when you're recording games and you come out of the game, it won't let you back in for some reason. So I had to exit my recording software and come back in again. I don't know, I had like a pop-up come up my screen, but yeah, it's done now. We're back. We haven't missed anything. It's still 0-0. And we're still dominating. Good. I got really panicked there for a second. It happens every now and again. It's quite rare. I think it's like a Windows update thing. It brings you out of the game to say, do you want to update your Windows? I press no. Because every time I update Windows, it seems to get worse. So now they are on the attack. Sundbaum. Evola gets it, and Admasu's on it now. Do we have a counter-attack here, potentially? Baez plays the ball. Stevens gets it, and he's surrounded by their players, but can he hold on to it? Bloody hell, it's all go now. It went off again. Right, I think I fixed it now. It shouldn't happen again. So we're on the attack still. Baez plays it out wide to 80 Day. Brings it back to Jamie Wildman. Come on. If we can get a goal before half-time, it'll be a great time to score. Wildman, the captain for this one, plays it into Baez. Baez scores! It's 1-0! Get in! Baez scores, assist by 80 Day. And it's been a bit of a tricky first half with interruptions from pop-ups, but thankfully we're in the lead now. Great little poked finish there by Baez. And I really think we're starting to build a team here that's quite special. I really do. And the fact that we can beat teams like Steaua and we can beat teams like AEK means that we should start to get into the Champions League group stage more often now, because we ended up against Basel in the playoff, didn't we? And probably the most difficult draw we could have got. If we'd drawn anyone else in that playoff, we probably would have got through. And Baez is in again here. Oh, saved. Almost got a second before half time. Admasu plays it back to Baez, to Cabrera. We're still on the attack and we're pinning them back here. There's the ball in. Stevens, he's offside, but he did put it in the back of the net. And we are doing very well here once again. I'm very pleased at how things are going. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. A win here may just be enough to put us through. I don't want to say for definite, but it may just be enough to put us through. Evola plays it out to Admasu. Now Lucas Moore is going to take a free kick for them. Plays it in. Sundbaum. Oh, Sanchez. Oh, whoa. Dodgy goalkeeper there. I think he did just keep it out there. It may have been going in, but he played it up against the post. But still, I think a better goalkeeper may have done a better job with that. So we're 60 minutes in. Do we want to make a couple of substitutions maybe? Who we got on the bench? Anyone that can spark any more life? We do have Franks on the bench. Stevens is not having the best of games. But Stevens is at such a level that you think he might just be able to pull a something off out of nowhere, don't you really? Broga gets the ball back. Great defensive work. Plays it forward to Stevens. And this is just what I was saying about being able to pull something out of nowhere. Plays it forward to Baez, who's surrounded by about 5 players now, but does keep a hold of the ball. Sees 80 Day in space on the far side. Day pokes it in, and he scored. It's 2-0. It's 2-0. Yeah, I am just so surprised at the sheer speed of what we're developing on this game. It really is amazing. We're only about, it's like a 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, something like that season now. And to go from where we were in the second division in Gibraltar to now winning the league convincingly every single season. We've been in the Champions League group stage. We're now in the Europa League group stage with a chance of actually getting through to the knockout stage of the Europa League. We're doing so well. And considering how much money was spent this season on improving the stadium, improving our youth facilities, and we're still only about £5 million spent out, which is incredible really. And we've got like 20 million quid in the bank. Evola now crosses it in. Stevens scores. It's 3-0. It's 3-0. A double in quick succession has now put us convincingly in the lead here. And once again, when we scored 7 against Steaua in the last episode, now we scored 3 against them here as well. This is just incredible. See, Steaua desperate for an offside decision there, but it's not going to be given. And I'm happy with that because it means that we're a bit more convinced he was offside. I must admit, when I looked at it the first time, you know what, I think he's just on. I think the two players that are trying to tackle Avola may have just kept him onside there. That's the way it looked to me anyway. So maybe we could make a substitution or two now then. Maybe we could bring on Franks in place of Stevens. Just because Stevens, we want to make sure he doesn't get injured or anything like that for any future games in the Europa League. It's a very slow motion replay, this one, isn't it? Let's skip that now because we're getting a bit over the top. So now what do we have? What can we do? What can we do here? So I'm thinking Well, I see Admasu's actually playing quite well out there, isn't he? So let's bring on Martinez in place of Day, and let's bring on Franks in place of Stevens. Just rest the two guys. I don't think we're going to be in any real trouble of conceding 2 goals now or 3 goals now and drawing this game. I think we should be okay. And just protecting those 2 players that have really helped us get to this point. Plus it's also given a chance for Franks and Hernandez to show us what they can do as well. Baez plays it into Franks, who plays it out to Hernandez, who scores. He's only just come on the pitch and he's scored straight away. Martin Hernandez, his first ever goal for the club as well, and it's quite a nice time for it to come. We have now scored 11 goals against Steaua Bucharest in 2 games. This is just incredible at every single level. Incredible. I tell you what, I don't think in my entire life as well, I've been playing Foot Manager and Championship Manager since the late 90s. Every single year's game I always had. And I don't think I've ever got this far in a game. And I don't think I've ever enjoyed a game this much either. I think I did one before where I took my hometown club, Wellingborough, from the UCL all the way up and won the Champions League. But still, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I've been enjoying this one. This has been so much fun, this. And I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it as well. I've noticed I'm getting a lot more views now. But as I said earlier on in the video, I think the fact that Europa Point's Twitter page and links have both been letting me well, they've both been retweeting my videos. It's absolutely fantastic. It's really helping me out. But yeah, another great win, 4-0. Great for us. Very, 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 very happy with that. So now you can see, I would say we're definitely through now then, because we're 6 points ahead of AEK with 2 games left to play. But we've got 17 goals extra on them on the goal difference. So unless we get absolutely destroyed by Dortmund and by AEK, I think we're through to the Europa League group stages. We've actually scored 6 more goals than Dortmund have, and Dortmund beat us 2-0. It's amazing, isn't it? Steaua have conceded 17 goals, and 11 of those were us. Oh, wow. I just can't believe how well we're doing. I really can't. It stuns me every single time. It really does. So there we go. Our next episode, we're going to be seeing a home game against Cannons and then away at AEK Athens. And of course, a draw against AEK Athens is enough to completely confirm us going through into the knockout stage of the Europa League. I think it's already done. I think it's already pretty much done. Like I said, we've got 17 goals over AEK, so the chances of that being turned around are minuscule. But like I say, just a point against AEK Athens will be enough to secure that completely, and we'll be through. So Finn Baird is still going to be out. How long is he out for though? Another 3 to 6 weeks, so he could actually be back in time for the Europa League knockout stage, which is pretty good. His actual stats are going up, even though he's injured. His stats are going up, which is good. Ramito is still going to be out for another 3 months, so it's going to be tricky. He could possibly be back in time. I don't honestly know. It's going to be tricky, but hopefully we get a chance to put some new players in our squad. That'd be pretty good, and then we can at least bring another goalkeeper into the squad. Anyway, but yeah, we'll come back and we'll have that home game against Cannons, then the away game against AK. I'm going to play Lincoln Red Imps and Gibraltar United off camera now, and I'll let you know exactly what happened when we get into the next episode. Of course, as always then, if you have enjoyed this one, then please do hit that like button. It does really help me out. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well for a lot more of the Gibraltar Challenge here on Foot Manager 2016. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.